Well, that's the thing.
I just think they're doing something that's, I don't know, like I say, just supporting their guru, and it's such a really disloyal to the truth, to ethics, to
Well,
humanity
that's it.
in
That's
every
what they
way.
don't get. Unfortunately, they want to be supportive of him. And maybe, yeah, they have gotten a little bit there. It's maybe changed their lives a little bit, you know. But they don't get the part that ethics, you're responsible for your ethics. And when you turn a blind eye, when you see something wrong is being done and you remain there, then you're assenting to it.
You have your own responsibility in it
Yeah,
then.
you have your own responsibility, then you're accountable. It's like, when I was, I'm grateful for whatever I got at the order, and I got it, when I was with the Hare Krishnas and that. But when I saw things being done that weren't righteous, weren't right, I left immediately. Doesn't mean I didn't get something from them. I did. I got some things that were invaluable, but I could not, on a quest for truth, turn a blind eye to that which was not dharmic. That's it. You are responsible for that. You are accountable for that. So, again, the same thing. There's one thing, and things say, well, I got something here, therefore it has to be the truth. And then one is willing to compromise themselves and compromise everything. And they're playing with fire doing that. One becomes one's own worst enemy at that point.
They don't want to let go of whatever they've made of this person or made them out to be, but instead they're perpetuating this abuse and, of everybody there. So it's just, I don't know how they can live with that, to be
Well,
quite
right.
honest.
When and I think it's an absolute point of denial. Those that weren't actually drug into his bed and those that have morals of alley cats can say, well, it's just sex, so what? So what if he did that? It's just sex. They don't get the point of him absolute lying. They don't get that point. That a guru is there to bring truth, not lies, not to do double-handed dealings, not to do something behind the scenes and another thing in front of the mic. That's double-natured, and they don't get that. They're ready to turn a blind eye to that because I got something, so I'm out for me. Oh well, bottom line, I'm out for me. And I've gotten something. I like to hear what he's saying. What he's saying is pleasant to my ears, and so I'm just going to be in denial about everything else. Like I say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Now, your intentions and their intentions may be good, what they think is good, coming to my channel, coming to a genuine guru, and telling me what I need to do. But that's a road paved to hell. Their good intentions, what they think, because they're following darkness and they come to light and tell light what it needs to do. That's a very dangerous road to be walking. Very dangerous. And so, again, as guru, one has to speak out. One can't be silent when they see these types of abuses taking place. You can't. Because if you're silent, you're accountable to that. It means you're assenting to it. And that's another thing people don't get. Why did Kabir speak out? Why did Christ speak out? Why did Buddhists speak out? Because one can't be silent when they see these types of abuses, when they see these types of things that are not benefiting humanity. If you really care about humanity, you can't sit idly by and watch these, so-called world gurus taking advantage of people. Like Osho come out in those space age choir robe get-ups he wore and his 99 Rolls Royces, and then winds up in a compound with guns and somebody poisons somebody. And I mean, really, guru? And people still follow and think he's a guru? No, he had a psychology background. He knew how to work the people. Some of the things he said were okay, but everything was a roundabout way of a lot of stories and a lot of, entertainment. He entertained them. TM talks in circles. He's got Rajas there, the kings. I mean, come on. Nonsense. Says that for this, I forget what country it is, that the whole river has to move for it to be sattvic. I mean, it just, you're buys into all that thing. Your house to be turned a certain way. Like when Hridaya came, he was so confused because of all the crap they had said and instilled. You can't say Om. What kind of nonsense is this?
It's like a brainwashed robot.
It is a brainwashing, robotic mentality. And at that point, once they reach that point, it doesn't matter what the guy says. They've already put him, and he's, put himself on such a pedestal. But given absolute crap, like the flying courses and this and that. And then, what was it? TM tell people, well, you can't get to enlightenment, you can't work, you need to do this all the time. And yet, they have to pay to be there, but they're not allowed to work. So they burn their bridges with people. They wind up conning them. They wind up, bleeding other people dry. And then when they no longer have the funds to be there, and people have wound up, he's told me cases of people that committed suicide because they won't get to enlightenment. This is the most heinous things. But he's got his bases covered. Well, you're not getting to enlightenment because you're not continuing to do the practice, but you can't do the practice and work, yet you got to pay. So you're in a no-win situation no matter which way you go. Same thing with, they weren't allowed to say what their secret things, and everything that was given was just absolutely, Bij mantras is what they were given according to their age. And this air of secrecy around everything was there and is there in a lot of paths. You can't speak about any of your attainment because most of them don't have attainment. And if they actually spoke out, they would be finding out that they got nothing. That's it. That's it. So, people are in confusion. They don't know what's a benefit and what is not. They're being led down these rosy red paths of fruitless endeavor. All the outer actions, be a vegetarian, wear white, do this, and you can convince yourself that you're so much better than everybody else. I'm just going to say love, love, love at every turn. And the path is hard. Truth be known, the real path to realization is difficult. One has to face that death before death. One has to face all the fears. Just like Christ, he had to go out and was tempted, had to go through the hardship of the desert, had to lay his life down willingly, was sweating blood. Sweating blood, that's fear. That's being in absolute terror when you're sweating blood. And people can actually sweat blood. You know, he wasn't looking forward to the cross like, oh, this is, just another, no, it was a physical thing he had to go through, and it can feel very physical when you're actually going through this and have to face that death before death. It's not a joke. So people have such a wrong idea. They are just led on these paths to go play, play, and more play. And when it gets difficult, then, oh, I'm at the wrong place. And they run and they bail. So they don't know the genuine from the false. And they don't want to hear the truth because they've been fed this candy like they're on the yellow brick road, on the yellow brick road, going to Oz. I'm playing a game. It should all be play. They confuse what's the play of God with what's, the play of God happens after the path, after everything has deconstructed and one has gone beyond the illusion and the delusion. They're in the play of fools at the moment. They're in the play of fools, the blind leading the blind, not in the play of God. So there is such confusion out there. And very, very, very few are really ready for a genuine path because it has accountability, because it has hardship, because it has consequences. This is why genuine gurus in the past made it hard for people to come in. They tested them severely to see if they were ready for it. Not just handed out like candy. That's the path of the egoist, where you want candy at every turn. It's not a genuine path.
And yet that egoic road is, it may be some of those pleasures in it, but really it carries so much more suffering in the long run.
Yeah, it does. It carries.
It's the harder road, and it's like that paradox.
It's a paradox. Yeah, it's a paradox. They do. They think they're escaping things, but they're only creating another box for themselves. Another velvet-lined jail is what they're doing. It will come due. Eventually, that illusion is going to break. They will have to cop to the fact that they're not happy. They will have to cop to the fact that they're still in suffering. You can play that game and diversion and denial only for so long. And eventually that will break. Eventually that'll break.
So they're not escaping anything. They think they are escaping that really hard road of facing themselves, but it'll come due.
Exactly. Can we get Bird and put him away? I think he's in bothering the little bird. That's why the little bird's in there and he's screaming at him. I can hear them out there. Yep, I can hear him. He's harassing the little bird, so we need to pull him back. That rotten little guy. He was out there, yeah?
Yeah, well, he was on the chair over there.
Yeah, exactly. He's harassing the little bird, so we need to pull him back in. Yep. So yeah, they're in confusion. They don't know the difference. When you give them the hard-hitting facts and the hard-hitting truth, they're going to run. Because it's not what they're looking to play. They're looking for another entertainment value. They want to be entertained. They want to play at spirituality. They don't want the hard-hitting path to get off the wheel of karma.
So I guess you find what you're looking for, but you don't
You
know
find
what's best
what you're
for
looking
yourself.
for, but you don't know
What you need.
what you need.
Yeah.
You don't know
What it is you need.
what is needed. Again, there's that confusion. Well, if it's good for me, it's going to feel good, it's going to make me happy. Just like you give a child a piece of candy. They're happy for that moment, but is it good for them in the long run? You can't just feed them candy all the time. It's those hard-hitting lessons that are not fun at the time which benefit. People don't want those hard-hitting lessons. They want the candy, and they're under the illusion that the candy is going to continue to benefit them. Okay, it's not.
So sad.
And it is sad. It is sad. It's very sad. It's the same thing as, like one person was commenting on the video today on the, was it the Unforgotten Child or Forgotten Child, something like that. It talks about reincarnation, and people don't get this, that in the Buddhist pantheon, there are practicing paths and there are intellectual paths. Well, you can be able to recite every scripture backward and forward and argue it endlessly and really make no progress. Really make no progress. So lifetime after lifetime is spent in spinning the wheels. But people are so agog over that. Open mouths, oh my God, look how much they know, No, they know nothing really in the end. It's parroting. Great, you've learned to be a parrot. Again, a practicing path is difficult. A practicing path takes time, it takes effort. The ones that really make it are the ones that are more like the sadhus, that are up in the caves, that are hid away in the caves, confronting their mind, confronting these illusions directly. Not those that just run around and read scripture and can debate it endlessly. That does nothing. But people are more entrenched and in awe of the ones that can read endless scriptures and can debate it and can yammer on about it like a parrot endlessly. Yet really, those ones are really not making much progress. Again, that illusion and facade looks good on the surface, but truth be known, underneath that surface is something entirely different.
It's more clutter.
More clutter, more crap. How many lifetimes are they going to continue to talk about it before they actually get to it? Completely different. You could talk all about Kundalini awakening. You could talk about Tibetan Book of the Dead endlessly, but until you live it, which is what the Kundalini path is, basically it's the Tibetan Book of the Dead in reverse. You do it while you're in life. You don't read. You don't have it read to you after death. Again, such confusion that's out there. One has to walk that path, and they have to do it internally. And it takes going through those shifts of consciousness. It takes going through that. And it's not a blissful experience the whole of the way. It's gut-wrenching. You know, again, I make no bones about it. At times in the path, it was the feeling the weight of the world. It was absolute torture. Absolute torture where you could barely take the next breath. Absolute torture. With the phenomena and stuff that comes, and then one has to confront the ideas and ideals of that evil entity type thing. And it comes directly in the face, and one has to confront it, has to see it, has to go beyond it. These are no joke. These are not, ideas and insights about things. These are direct experiences. And there's no way to sit there and make light of it. So they read all these books on Kundalini, which are 99.9% of them are absolute crap, just stuff respun, not beneficial to anything. The only thing that's beneficial is the direct experience. And the direct experience does not come by trying to intellectually discuss and parrot what somebody else knows. There's knowing, direct knowing, and the only one that directly knows are the direct authors of it, not people that have reread it and respun it, which is what most of the authors do now. They'll read a bunch of endless books by other people that have direct knowing, and they want to put their spin on it. And they put an ego spin on it because they don't know directly. But it sounds better to the public because they can relate, because it's coming from ego and delusion. And the dualistic mind spin. So again, there is so much misinformation out there. There are very few genuine gurus, very few that have really walked the path from start to end. Very few. There are a lot that are in the midst of the path. They're playing with it. They think they're much further than they are. And that's the danger. They all want to be teachers. In the middle of the path, you get the Messiah complex. You're going to go out and save the world. You can't save yourself, yet you're going to go save the world. You have all the answers. You don't have any answers for yourself, but you got all the answers for humanity. And a lot of people get caught at that point. And they don't progress. They don't go any further. It's the truth of it. The truth of it. Lots of places that one can get caught. Lots of places one can get caught. One can get caught in the cities. One can get caught doing third eye meditation and out in astral realms and all that crap that goes with it for lifetimes. Okay? People don't know the dangers that are there, that lurk. They don't know what's beneficial and what's not. They want to think they can have a path that takes really hard-hitting dedication, 100% of the day, and that they can do it in the midst of having family life and playing with all this stuff as well. I make no bones about it. You have to be 100% dedicated to get to realization. You're not going to do it in the midst of playing with sex and all this other stuff, because all of that is a natural progression outwards. Duality, 100% duality. So if you think you're going to be out there playing with sex, projecting outwards, and you're going to get to non-duality, you can think again. It's not going to happen. Like I said, the most you'll get is oneness. And want to convince yourself that that's it. And that is such a trap point at that point, because it is so beyond the mundane mind that one is used to that they want to think that that's it. And they can stay trapped there. What can be said? Hey, it can be a great blissful place to be. It's all love, love, love. It's all, it's all just God. I see God everywhere and everything is God, and it's all, but that's not realization. That's not to moksha. It's another type of a samadhi state, but it's not moksha by any means. And there are those that have tasted, and so they can speak what it is, but they reroute into mind and into that oneness and fall. And that's again a dangerous thing. If you taste a moment of that nirvikalpa, of that great falling away, then you come back and construct an ego around it. That's a very dangerous place. If one has an experience, then these are the ones that come back and think that they are a God, that they are something separate and unique. And this is when a lot of times the abuses happen, because they haven't gone the whole way. They've had a glimpse, they can talk about it absolutely convincingly, yet the ego has wrapped around it. And again, they're in delusion. So this is what happens with some of those that, they sound very convincing, and they've immersed themselves in the text, and they've had maybe a glimpse, so they can talk very convincingly about it. But when their actions are not matching, when they're involved in sexual scandal, etc., they're not there. Not possible. Not possible. Because one is not enamored of the dualistic at that point. Yes, one can go out and play, but as far as the sex and all the other, catches, those are gone. There's no interest in those whatsoever. So again, people are really in confusion about paths and what's genuine and what's not. They want the feel-good route, and they think if it feels good and they feel better, that they really benefit. When many times what they've done is just put a band-aid on ego for a time. They haven't even begun the journey. They haven't taken the first step to a genuine path, hard-hitting path that's going to pull away the illusion and delusion to take one to enlightenment. So that's the sad thing, people always say, I want a genuine guru. Well, gurus are looking for genuine sadhakas, and they are very, very few. You're fortunate if you find one or two in a lifetime. Genuine seekers. find a lot that want to play at it. And they'll all say, no, 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 we're genuine. But their actions show. They want the world more than they want to get out of the world and off the spin and out of the karmic. It's the truth of it. Sorry, guys. The truth of it. You know? Yes, I want to be out of the suffering. No, I really want it. I want to be out of the suffering, but I don't want to give up anything. Not willing to change my life. I want it enhanced. Lord, I might lose something in the process. Oh my God, I can't lose anything. I can't potentially lose something. It's not going to happen. Not to say that your life can't get better, you know. But as far as fully getting off the wheel of karma, if you're not ready to give up everything, if everything, you know, if you're not ready for that, for everything to be pulled away if need be, you're not ready. That's it. That's it. If you're in fear of loss, forget about it. If you're in fear your social circle may change, or you're in fear that, oh my God, I might not have a relationship. You're in fear of, oh my God, I might lose some financial thing or whatever. Then you don't want it. You don't want it. Because, yes, for a time, things may get pulled away. In my lifetime, I had to give up things a number of times. Everything was pulled away. Not easy.
All your so-called friends go, the family, the whole works.
The friends go, the family goes, all of it goes.
It all goes.
All of it goes. Either it goes willingly when one takes sannyas in India, and if they go back to the family after they've taken sannyas, they're done. That's it. That's it. You've already negated it. Okay? Because that's supposed to be dead to you at that point. 100% dead. So again, people don't understand, they don't get the import, you know, it's just, and especially even more so, well, I was going to say even more so in this country, but I can't say that either. I can see, you know, again, in India, people think that they're so much more advanced, but they're not. They're doing pujas, but what are they asking for? Give me a son. Give me good business. Give me, give me, give me, give me. Are they asking for truth? Are they asking for realization? No, hell no. 99.9% of it is all material. And they think here is materialistic. It's just as materialistic there.
And they're so immersed in family there.
It's so immersed in, again, the social customs and societal stuff, and confuse it with spirituality. They confuse the structure of social, this is what you will do, with spirituality, because they put it under the umbrella of Hinduism lifestyle. Hinduism, you can't be born, you know, you can't become a Hindu because it's a lifestyle, is what they say. In other words, you have to be born into this societal delusion of caste and all the ramifications that come with it. So if you're not born into that, you can never be that, because Hinduism is not a religion, it's a lifestyle. It's a structured jail. And people don't get that. They don't get it. Again, spirituality and gurus and teachers and lights are here to break through the structural delusion that's not benefiting humanity. Okay? It's not benefiting. India's got one set, here we've got another set. Okay? Neither is beneficial. Here it's open, rampant sex, not standing up for obligations, absolute rampant immorality. Not that this doesn't take place in India. It does. They've got prostitution there. They've got, you know, all the rest of the stuff there as well. Okay. They've got a lot of, you know, other sets of things, and there are sets of things here. All of it needs to be broken through. Neither place is upstanding. Spirituality, morality, so much underhanded stuff. So much lies with politicians and government, and all of this needs to be redone and restructured. So much work needs to be done. But nobody's willing to do it. Everybody wants to turn a blind eye and justify it. Justify the immorality, justify the untruth, justify what's kept dark and hidden and greed. Absolute bondage at every turn. So yes, gurus are there to be lights, to try to get you out of bondage. Yet you continue to choose bondage at every turn and don't know you're doing it. And don't know you're doing it. So that's all that can be said. Namaste.